Good morning, everyone. Sustainability development goals. We all know that is the future we want. We also know these goals are really achievable and affordable if we get that appropriate help and support from various political leadership along with policies and enterprises. In this conversation, we are going to talk about sustainable energy and digital transformations. This is Madhu Kesavan. I am the founder and CEO of SDG Solutions. We are into delivering sustainable development goal solutions for governments and enterprises, and also digital transformation for enterprises. Here we have Mr. Umesh Chandra. He has around 3 decades of experience in energy sector and infrastructure space. Hello, sir.
Thanks so much, Madhu.
Yeah.
Primarily in the energy and infrastructure sectors, starting off with India and then about 2 decades in the US, and now getting close to almost a decade here in this region, working out of Dubai and a few years in Singapore and doing quite a bit of work in India also. So I consider myself an energy professional and very passionate about renewable energy, about sustainability, circular economy.
Okay.
Now, one of the interesting things that I found about your company is, although there's more technology and IT-based firms in GITEX, I think you're one of 2 firms who has projected, very overtly about your involvement with the sustainable development goals. So I think it would be very helpful if you can shed some light, particularly in the solutions that you have developed.
Okay.
Maybe you can give an example of what you did for the government, irrespective of which country, and probably one in the private sector. Some very, I read up about your company, and I know that some of the solutions that you have come about are fairly unique.
I would like to highlight about the Oceanographic Solutions that we have implemented, which covers life on water and also workforce. The primary thing in that one is that actually helps countries to measure what is happening in their ocean. It is actually the data capturing from the voice that helps them to find what is the weather there and what is the underwater pressure, and is there any tremendous earth pressure is increasing, and are there going to be any kind of earthquake which is going to cause tsunami. So literally this is a kind of a tsunami management system which is connected with oceanographic.
I think it will be very helpful, particularly with the transformation due to climate change effects.
Yep.
And more so in some of the island countries. I think you'll definitely find your solution very valuable.
Yeah, that is right. Like forest fire and mountain tracking, in the sense that it is not only for a specific state, even like for any countries, if there are any mountains and if they want to track what is happening in that mountain. Let us say that the problem with the smartphone devices is if you don't have reception, like a mobile reception, you are going to lose everything in that one. You are not able to access internet and you cannot do anything in that. So what we have really solved is, though if you don't have the mobile reception, you should be able to get the data, in the sense the map, where you are standing right now and where is your nearby information center and how you can navigate and go to the particular location, so that you can save yourself and you can navigate.
I think this solution would particularly be helpful in the Middle East, in the desert environment, particularly when either projects or even for social recreation, people go out into the desert and may get lost.
Yeah, that is right. In your experience in energy sector, in the sustainable energy, we know there is a tremendous change in the last 3 decades, energy and transmission system. How do you see that it has evolved or changed, sir, in these 3 decades?
If you have to look at the energy sector as a whole, I think the primary change has been the increasing involvement or use of technology.
Okay.
So irrespective of it being conventional power,
Okay.
or what is talked about a lot today and practiced, renewables, as well as in the oil and gas sector. We see technology being increasingly used, whether it is from the point of just data capture, data analytics, or some type of predictive analysis. Irrespective of that, there is a sea change which is only working towards, or being able to address the challenges that the energy sector is facing. I know that one of the things that is really increasingly coming into play is the renewables, or integration of renewables into the entire energy sector. And we know that renewable energy is not something, it has its own idiosyncrasies. Solar is available only during the daytime, wind is better off during the night time, biomass depends upon the availability of raw material. So at the end of the day, when you want to integrate increasingly renewables into the mainstream energy sector, I think technology is what is going to help us in making those decisions and do a better job in integration.
Exactly, sir. The data collection for renewable energy, that is an interesting factor. I mean, though we have data for renewable energy for the last 5 years or 10 years, how we can analyze the data and how we can tell the leaders, okay, this is what you have in your hand and this is the kind of a decision that you want to take. That is the power of data analytics, and that is exactly possible with the technology, as you rightly mentioned.
Definitely. I think the increasing need for monitoring, the increasing need for evaluating performance of plants based upon at the design stage to the implementation stage, and probably 5 years or 10 years of operation. If we are able to cull out some interesting metrics on how renewable energy plants perform, renewable energy plants per se, and how it performs or integrates with the mainstream power system, whether it is in a state or a country or a region. I think these are some of the things that is definitely going to help, as you had pointed out earlier, the need for a role for the government or the policy makers, other stakeholders. See, at the end of the day, policy decisions needs to come about more from stakeholders and not necessarily any one sector, whether whether it is the government or whether it's the private sector or whether it's the manufacturers or whether it's the users. All should come together to frame policies.
Yes. Problem in innovation is, funding investments for this R&D, that is going to be the toughest challenge, and that is what everyone is facing actually.
Right.
There is no one can say that we are in a good shape of funding investment for innovation. That is the real scenario here, though public and private sectors. But yeah, we are all fighting hard.
I'm happy you're talking about innovation, because I think very recently Bill Gates had made a mention that even in a country like the United States, that there is a need to have probably innovation institutes such that innovation can be promoted at an accelerated pace, and make sure that wherever innovation takes place, whichever country innovation takes place, there is some kind of coordinated effort in ensuring that the innovation reaches.
Innovation and technology is in acceleration phase right now, and so many technological terms here, like artificial intelligence or bioinformatics or big data or quantum computing or even new business models. Everything is an innovation, and obviously what we really need here is, that institutions which helps entrepreneurs or even enterprises or SMEs to foster that innovation so that they can do very well and get that expected results that we are looking for.
Correct. I'll just digress a little bit from the energy sector.
Okay.
I saw as a part of what your company is presently working on is the business intelligence platform for the agri sector. I think this is something where initially no one would have imagined that you need innovation or you need business intelligence or you need data capture and data analytics when it comes to the farmers or coming to the farming community.
Yeah.
But today that has become the key.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about farm to fork. but that is a very, very holistic or a very, very broad-based objective. I think if you go down to the grassroots level, we need to definitely do a lot more for the farmers so that their quality of life also improves. And I'm very sure that there is a lot of innovation even at that grassroots level, rather than just sitting in offices and labs and coming up with wonderful products or systems.
Yeah, I mean, we actually worked on that project, sir, like the BA tool that exactly helps this farm to fork whole process. You said it as a holistic process, which is right. I mean, we try to connect the farmers with the geofencing, what kind of area they have and what they are plotting there, along with building the IoT sensors, what is the humidity level of the land and what is the air temperature and what kind of a yield they are going to get, everything. But the real problem relies here is the funding support. I mean, as an R&D facilities, companies can build a POC, proof of concept, which is working very well, but taking it to the next level, that is where the real problem starts.
I think that has to come from the, investor ecosystem.
Yeah.
Whether you're an angel funder or whether you're a Series A or a growth funder, I think it has to work by itself.
Yeah.
The government can only do so much.
Yes.
Probably they can add assistance from some of the national laboratories and that kind, but expecting the government to invest, expecting the government to provide budgets probably is not the way to go.
Yeah.
I would always say that the private sector can do a lot more in creating those type of investor networks to focus, whether it is small and medium, whether it is growth sector, whether it is to accelerate business acceleration investors. As well as restructuring, because once you see a business cycle reach its maturity, you don't want to get rid of it. You want to see how you can make use of all the years of experience that a business has gone through, to see how it can be transformed to more new businesses.
Yes, that is right, sir. I mean, the other way around for us is that is the only product which is in the shape of a POC, but as a company like Way to Smile Solutions, I am very glad to say that all our SDG products or platforms are productionized and live customers, they are all using it out.
Very good.
And building a platform-based company is really, really challenging and tough because of everyone should have the same vision. All the stakeholders, employees, leadership team, management team, customers, everyone should have the same synergy and energy to make it happen and push along with the whole tech stack. I mean, some companies can only build an UX design and someone can only build a backend data analytics, but building from the scratch till the end, that is the unique power that we have.
You need to do a lot more, particularly in a short span. You have done so much already. I only want you to do a lot more on the innovation side.
Everyone is talking about clean planet for all and decarbonizing strategy. Do you think that decarbonization is going to happen, sir? What is your
100% it will happen.
Okay.
It should happen for the betterment of the planet, as you said. It has to happen.
Okay.
But the rate and pace at which it's happening, I think a lot depends upon stakeholders. I always like to use the word stakeholders because it's not possible for any one segment of society to take singular responsibility. It has to be a collective responsibility. It has to be inclusive, such that all stakeholders feel that they need to work towards the decarbonization. If it's not going to happen, or if it's going to slow down, it is going to affect our planet. And as you can see, the climate change effects are primarily due to us neglecting or not paying sufficient attention to all that we really need to be looking at from an environmental degradation point of view. Right. So let us all put our efforts in making sure that we make some contribution in order to setting things right.
We cannot erase the past, but we can correct the future.
100%. Well said. Well said.
Yes, sir. That is really great. And thanks for having you here, sir.
Thank you very much, and I wish Way to Smiles a lot of success.
Okay.
and I'd like to see you grow more, and do a lot more good to the planet.
With your blessings, sir.